Amy. Yeah. Amy asked me to say a few words. She didn't really give me a time limit on this. I got to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to keep this short. I had 27 years to write this speech. I started at about 10 o'clock this morning, so I'm stuck reading it. On behalf of Kathy and I, and Ray and Lori, and Amy and Garin, thank you all for coming, and welcome to Amy and Garin's wedding. Non-freaking Tana. Some of you traveled great distances. My mom came all the way from Ohio. My in-laws came all the way from Indiana. My brother, where'd you come from? I think he came from Florida, but you never really know. At any rate, we're all very blessed to have you all here to witness this most special event. When a girl gets married, it's customary for the father to give the toast to the bride and groom. But a man doesn't get the opportunity to honor and to perhaps embarrass his wife. In front of a large crowd of people. So I'd like the first toast tonight to be for Kathy Lippis. Mother of the bride, my lovely wife for 35 years. Like a lot of moms, she did all the heavy lifting, or at least most of the heavy lifting, in raising our daughters and me. Indeed, she was the glue that held our household together. I traveled a lot. It was she who mowed the lawn when I was gone, at least in the early days. It was she who dealt with the failed water heaters, and it was she who dispensed with the 18-inch alligator lizard that had both girls cornered in the bathroom. It was Kathy who arrived home after a 12-hour shift to find Amy on the kitchen counter with me nauseously tending to a deep cut over her eye, and marched right back out the door of the emergency room, little Amy in tow. She kept the house bright and cheery and freshly painted. Her flower garden actually did stop traffic in front of our street, in front of our house. All this while raising 2 girls and a husband and caring for some of the sickest children on the planet. So here's to you, honey. World-class mom, world-class nurse, world-class wife. I'll get to Amy and Garin at some point later. I'd also like everyone to raise a glass to our new in-laws, Ray and Lori. A quick, a quick story. Shortly after Garin and Amy met, Amy was invited to the family spring break road trip to Montana. I hadn't even met Garin yet, let alone his family. And one day, shortly before they were to leave, I got a phone call from Ray. He introduced himself on the phone and said he was just calling to assure me that he and Lori would take good care of Amy while they were on the trip and that they'd keep her safe. Ray, I don't care if Lori put you up to it. It was a classy move. Really, it's hard to describe what that meant to me. It was at that moment that I first thought, marry this guy, man. Just marry this guy. Not me, Ray. Amy and Garin. As I said, I hadn't even met Garin yet, but I knew he had to have been raised right with a dad like that. So, Ray and Lori, thank you for raising such an upstanding, dorky, lovable gentleman. He was good enough for Amy. Okay, on to the bride and groom. First of all, thank God for corduroy, eh? Some of you get that, some of you don't. There's so much I want to tell you about Amy, but I have precious little time, and in fact, I found this difficult to write. But a baby girl is a gift sent from God, truly. Especially for a dad, I think. For mom, too, but especially for a dad. The second baby girl, at the same time as God showing me that he has a sense of humor, is a different story. Anyway, she's all warm, snuggly, squiggly, and squishy, and smelling. There's a lot of crying, and a lot of Kathy saying, quit crying and take care of Amy. The baby daughter is always daddy's girl and mommy's world. I'm proud to say that Amy's first words were daddy's home, which, ironically, she learned from her mother. As she grew up, she became very curious and very observant. Her second words, if I recall correctly, were, what is that? We tell her, and she points to something else and repeat the question. What is that? 2 syllables. Shortly after that came, that's our car. The kid could identify an 88 Camry from 100 yards away, regardless of color, at 2 years of age. Even if it was a station wagon, that's our car. She had a naturally analytical mind. We lived on a very busy, or fairly busy street, and she used to sit for hours, oftentimes waiting for Ricky Bruce to show up. Sit for hours on her windowsill, taking statistics on the passing car, and plotting up histograms based on color. Or she would actually make physical histograms by stacking pennies based on date. She was a complete nerd, and I loved it. I knew she would do well in the world, and she did. Look, I mean, by the time she got to college, she was one of those really lucky people who knew exactly what she wanted, but more importantly, she went out and she got it. And I'm so darn proud of her for that. Amy, I hope I've made that obvious to you over the years. My love for you knows no bounds. And I know you love me. I can see it in your eyes when you look at me, and I can feel it when you hug me or when you just snuggle up to me on the couch. And I could hear it in your voice earlier today when you asked me to pay for the caterer. I love you, honey. And then there's Garin. Garin. I tried, I hired private investigators, I did background checks. Everything came up clean. Back in about 2013, thereabouts, Amy called me one day out of the blue. I was at work, and she called me just to tell me all about Garin. And she was ebullient, which, shall we say, at the time was uncommon for Amy. On the phone. I don't think she actually used the word perfect, but she said as much in so many words. She was really excited for me to meet him, and she was so sure I was going to like him. He was Amy in pants, as I think Colby put it. It's not any exaggeration at all, though, to say that Amy has not been the same since she met Garin. And anybody who knew Amy before Garin knows this to be true. Well, we've known Garin now for something like 5 years, and we've grown to love him too. I mean, what's not to love? He's a gentleman, he's funny, he's smart, but above all, he's good to my daughter. You can see the love in his eyes when he does little simple things like tucks a blanket around her on the couch when she looks cold. He even opens the car door for Amy, though not in the way you'd expect. It only opens from the inside. But still, he opens the door for her. Garin also asked my permission to marry Amy, which thrilled me to death. No, I'm not going to tell him anything. It was via text message, but still, it meant a lot. I was so caught off guard and excited that I'm pretty sure I consented to marry him myself. It's not easy for a man to give his daughter away, but it's been said that when a child finds true love, his parents find true joy. And I know this to be true. Garin, you swept my daughter off her feet, and in the process, you swept Kathy and I off our feet as well. We'll love you like the son we never had. One condition. You got to call me Dad. Okay, now finally, to wrap this up with some marriage advice. Honey? Just kidding, I'm not going to offer any marriage advice. You can Google it. But is there a key to a lasting marriage? Does anybody know? I've been at it for 35 years and I don't know. I will say this, having a forgiving heart has got to be high on the list. And I'll leave it at that. So here's to Garin and Amy.